So I'm here with Andy McNicol and I'm medicating him.
He's being my waiter.
So he's going to tell me all his secrets about competition flying because I'm really intrigued. So Andy is the British champion, no less. So cheers, well done.
Cheers, thank you very much.
So this is where we get to suck all of these secrets out and find out how on earth do you do that. So can you give me a kind of a quick briefing on the comp that you flew, that you did so well in? What do you think were the secrets to your success? Or was it just a roll of the dice?
I mean, like, all competitions have got a big element of roll of the dice in them, you know?
Yeah, you had the right dice though.
Yeah. Okay, so the comp was Grand Bonand in the French Alps, which is just up the valley kind of from Annecy, Lake Annecy, which most people know. It's a really beautiful place to go flying, Grand Bonand. You've got a kind of, you can take a lift up to launch with like the cowbells going off in the background. It's really classic alpine stuff. It's a bit of a bowl really.
Yeah. Down
the left side you've got the Aravi, which is kind of, that works nicely in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And you can just kind of fly straight up and down that, and the scenery is absolutely spectacular. On the right side, there's another big ridge that goes down the right side. I flew there back in 2019, I think. I did a back-to-back comp, the Belgium Open and the French Championships there. And the Belgium Open, I think we had like 6 days of stonking conditions, like absolutely glorious conditions. It's really nice, smooth, really strong thermals as well. And then the week after we had the French Championships, and they really pushed the boat out on the French Championships. They were like, you know, we want to do some big tasks, and they flew. There was loads of lee side flying actually in the French Championships. There were some moments where I was definitely like, what the hell? The Belgium, we had nice tasks. We had tasks that were kind of 60 to 80K. Nice length, you know, it's supposed to be a holiday as well, you know, it's not like let's put ourselves through a ringer. And all of their tasks were sensibly designed to keep everyone safe. And then we go to the French and it's like, let's go here and here and here and here, and we'll fly the most direct routes into the crazy place. And you're like, what? But you're flying a comp, so you're like, are we doing this? Okay, let's do this then. Let's try it, you know. And yeah, there was scary moments in that, man. I knew the area kind of from those two competitions better than most Brits, I would say. So I was on the task committee along with Uli and Polish pilot living in France, nice guy. So there's 3 of us on the task committee.
So you got to set the rules for the competition that you won.
Absolutely. Not the rules, the tasks. There's a difference. Okay. There's a difference. I remember on one of those tasks, we ended up like, I followed Russ, to be honest. He's a world champion. You're like, solid. He probably knows where he's going. Yeah. So me and Laurie followed Russ. Yeah, we followed him around the back of the Aravi, and like the cloud base was below the top of it. And it was one of those moments where you kind of go around the back of something and like all the wind noise disappears. It all goes quiet and you're just like, I'm in Mordor. And I remember like thinking, Ross, do you even know where you're going? Yeah. And eventually we managed to find a lee side climb out over a col where we could get back onto the right side of the mountain because the cloud base was low enough. And I remember like landing and speaking to Russ afterwards. And I was like, what were you doing? He was just like, scary, wasn't it? I'm like, I'm glad you were scared. That wasn't pleasant.
What did you say your key strategy was that made you win day one?
I took a thermal that no one else took, basically. I was flying really well. I was really focused. I think being on the task committee helps you focus your mind as well. I was confident as well. Because all of a sudden I had like performance that was equal to everyone else, and I hadn't had that before, and it was like, oh, this is nice. So I was able to kind of stay high, let other people lead out a tiny bit. I'm only talking like 50 meters. I'd stay 50 meters in front of behind the front guys.
Yeah. And
generally a little bit higher. So I had a really nice position. And I think during that first task, I kind of was doing that, and I was just a little bit higher up along the mountainside. And they were pushing, and I just felt this, there's something here. And I turned in it, and I was like, oh, this is good. And I was just at the back of the lead pack. I mean, we're talking like the lead pack maybe was 100 meters from front to back, and I was just at the back, but a bit higher. And I hooked into that climb as they charged on. I think the difference is when you're flying well, it's all very easy. You know, if you're flying well and you're making the right decisions and you're climbing well, it's not a difficult game really. It's all pretty a simple game. You push hard, you don't faff around in weak stuff, and everything slots together nicely. You know, you've got to have the confidence. If you want to like be near the front of a race, you have to have the confidence to believe that you belong there. You know, I think that's such a huge part of competition flying, is being confident in your abilities and being confident in what you can do. If you don't believe that you can win, and if you don't believe that you belong there, you're never going to get there. Do you know what I mean?
At this point, you're not British champion and you haven't won the British champs before. And you're not super experienced competition pilot relative to some of the other guys there.
Yeah.
So what have you done that makes you feel that you can win? What's built that confidence that you're coming to that comp with that?
Because of all these people, all of them, I've beaten in individual tasks. Yeah. So all you've then got to do is string that together. Yeah. Which it's like easier said than done. But if you can beat them in individual tasks, and if I've finished, you know, like 10th, 11th in a PwC task, why? That shows to me that I can do that. I'm capable of doing that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's just about trying to get the consistency in there. I think so much of it, it's all in your head, man. It's like paragliding, it's all in your head. It's all about believing in yourself. And like some people view that as like arrogance or whatever. You've got to have that belief and the self-confidence, especially before you launch, when you're flying the task. You've got to have that self-confidence. After the task, that's when you can be humble. That's when you can kick yourself. That's when you can say, oh, I'm no good at that, I'm bad at that. But before you go into a task, you've really got, it's like a boxer. You've got to believe you're the greatest. Yeah. If you go to a boxing match not believing you're going to win, you're going to get your head kicked in. And the only way you can have that belief is by doing the preparation right, knowing that you've got the correct skills and you've got the correct understanding and the correct knowledge to be able to do well. If you know that you've got enough skills, enough knowledge, then it's like, well, why can't you win? I think it's like Kriegel said, we all know the same stuff. It's just about the way we apply it. Yeah. And that's a fact, and that's it. So be confident that we can all be as good as we want to be with the knowledge and the skills that we have.
Thanks to Laurie Nocta for his amazing aerial film work. Check out his task analysis series on YouTube to learn more. Yeah. So thanks, Andy. That's really, really good advice, just preparing for competitions and getting your head right. And as Andy said, it's 100% mental. Basically, once you at competition level, you've got the skills to manage the glider, to fly a task, to put things in your GPS. And it's totally about how you think your way through what's presented in front of you. And when you get it right, you get to be champion.
Yeah.
So thanks, Andy.
No worries, man. Thank you.
Speedy recovery, and I'll see you back in the sky.
Yeah, 2024, man.